Welcome back to Retail Therapy Podcast, brought to you by Sunday Scaries. I am your in-studio host today, Barrett Dudley. But joining me on the other line is your usual in-studio host. It's Will DeFries. What's going on, Will?
Hello. Good to be here. I'm sorry that I cannot be in the studio today. As much as I wanted to come in, it just simply would not have been a good idea.
It wouldn't have been. And you know, we don't have to belabor why you're not here. But I'm glad you didn't come in. I am, however, proud of you that you're here. You're making the effort. You're doing the pod. We're doing it anyways. We're going remote. And I mean, you know, like, look at your setup, dude. Like, it's the vibes are immaculate there. So why wouldn't you want to record from there?
I don't mind working from my little like home office / den / whatever you want to call it. Some people call it the Grateful Den because there's a lot of Grateful Dead stuff in here.
Right.
But that's just some people. What I don't like doing is recording from it.
Okay.
I've like evolved from the COVID mentality of like doing everything via phone call and Zoom. And I no longer operate very well in this environment. So we'll see how this goes.
Yeah, you're noticeably, just going off of like a regular mic. You don't have like $1,000 Shure in front of your face right now.
No, one thing that I have misplaced somewhere along the way is my mic from COVID times. I think I let Dave borrow it at one point, and then I never got it back. And so Dave's probably got 2 mics chilling somewhere.
Well, you're looking very smart over there. Tell us about this. Tell us about this chair. What we got going on the chair? Is this a canvas, a Dirondack or something? Is that? Did I say? I probably botched that. More on pronunciation in a moment. But what's up with the chair?
It is not an Adirondack chair.
Adirondack. Thank you.
It is simply a butterfly chair with like a canvas sling on it.
Okay.
I had 2 of these that I would put on the porch of our old place, and it served as a temporary office chair. If you're talking posture, it's probably the worst thing I could possibly have in here.
It does,
but I somehow feel fine in it.
It does kind of give like outdoor Hamptons vibes.
I think that's probably fair. I got them from Home Depot as just like a quick fix for some outdoor seating.
Swag? And Home Depot swag.
Yeah, the other one's ripped down the middle, so you can't sit in it anymore without fear of falling through it. But this one's held up pretty nice. I don't know. Everything's kind of shabby chic in this little upstairs den area.
Well, speaking of pronunciations, my wife roasted me when I got home from work the other day because she had been listening to our most recent podcast. And we were talking about the brother brand to the French label Cézanne, which, if you're reading it phonetically, is Octobre. It's Octobre. But we're doing a very Texan thing where we say everything with a Spanish accent. We read everything that's in like a foreign language as if it's Spanish because that's what we hear around here. And that is not how you would pronounce that word if you were saying it in the appropriate French tongue. So now here's the thing. Saying it in French, you're going to sound like an asshole because it has a very French ending, but it's basically Octobre.
No.
Yeah.
No, I don't like it.
Yeah. Octobre.
Is like, if I ever own a Porsche, which if I was ever going to spend money on like a nice car, Porsche is probably the way I'm going. I'm still not calling it a Porsche. It's just not happening.
Okay, see, I've always called it a Porsche. I didn't grow up calling it a Porsche. I just think that's a potato thing. That's a tomato. I
just don't want any judgment from anybody if I come through in my Porsche and I say that I bought a Porsche and then have someone be like, he doesn't even say it right. Like, no, we're not doing that.
I personally don't think I could ever say Ibiza.
Ibiza?
Other than
Barcelona?
saying it right there. It's Ibiza.
Yeah.
I'm a Midwestern Rust Belt guy. Come on.
Well, I'm gonna just try to tone down instead of just like doing it super cracker, like just like Octobre. October. Like just it's an at the end instead of a bre, an right. A instead of a. That's how I'm switching it up, Will.
I think I'm just going to call it October from here on out.
October, yeah. That's okay too. I'm dying to pop into the Cézanne store on South Congress and ask them how they say it. You know, because they can't just be.
They have to be very tired of it.
They can't just be spitting out that French pronunciation all day long. I don't believe that.
No, I mean, you heard it last week in the episode that we did where we talked about travel planners. And I said Capri instead of Capri.
Right.
But anytime I say Capri, I feel like an asshole.
It is Capri though. It is though.
It is Capri, but I don't like saying it that way because I feel like people are like, oh. I mean, I've never even been there. I've driven a boat around it.
All right. Well, where do we want to begin today? Do we need to do some housekeeping? Do we need to toss it to an ad read? Or would you like me to dive into what I got into this week?
I want to do some housekeeping real quick.
Okay.
First and foremost, what is traditionally one of our most popular episodes of the year, the fall fashion episode, is launching next week. I think there were some people who we might have miscommunicated with who thought it was this week. It's not this week.
Okay. All right.
We're not ready.
That's our bad. Yeah, I'm making some purchases for research purchases for purposes. Purchases for research purposes is what is happening there. That is what I am trying to say. I've got my notes app. It's hot though. I can't wait to do this episode. We will be talking. I've got women's notes as well as men, so it will not be as male heavy as maybe it was last year. I'm very excited to put that out there. People have really been asking for it this year. They're ready. They're hungry.
Should we collab notes for this one beforehand?
Maybe so. Yeah.
Get on the same page.
That we probably should. That's probably smart. Yeah.
Okay. I'll be in touch.
Okay.
I'll be in touch. Right. Additionally, velabox.com/Sunday Scaries. Some of the traditional scents are 20% off right now. To pull the curtain back for some listeners, we're redoing some of the containers. They're going to look a lot cooler, in my opinion, and a lot more high end. And so I hope you enjoy those. But in the meantime, we're kind of clearing house on some of the older scents. So go on velabox.com/Sunday Scaries and grab some of those. As always, youtube.com/Sunday Scaries podcast to watch this. Barrett's going to be throwing stuff up on the screen all day today. So go subscribe at youtube.com/Sunday Scaries podcast. Before we get into today's topics, let's hear from our friends over at Shopify. We use Shopify to sell things. I've got some sweatshirts on order right now that are probably going to be sold through a Shopify website very soon. And when you're starting anything, as we all know, it's difficult to figure everything out. And Shopify figures out so much for you. I just did some writing earlier today about what life was like before Shopify, and it was not fun. Shopify makes everything so straightforward. All you have to do is create an account, log in. You can choose a million different templates that they have where you can pretty much customize any website without coding anything, without doing anything. Shopify is the commerce platform behind millions of businesses around the world and 10% of all e-commerce in the US, from household names like Mattel and Gymshark to brands just getting started. They help from every single aspect of your business, from shipping and just all of that. You can kind of just dump all of your orders into one place, ship them out immediately, and it's just very easy. It helps with the marketing side of things. They have world-class expertise from managing inventory to international shipping to processing returns and beyond. So if you're ready to sell, you're ready for Shopify. Turn your big business idea into big bucks with Shopify on your side. Sign up for your $1 per month trial and start selling today at shopify.com/scaries. Again, that's shopify.com/scaries. Shopify.com/scaries. All right, Barrett, you hung out with my wife last night. What were you guys doing?
I did. Yes. Sal Gal herself filled in for you, and she was invited as well. But you and I were invited to an event at the Commodore Perry here in Austin, Texas, which is a luxury resort and club over kind of on the north central side of town, to partake in a special Pilates class, which we've talked about on this podcast, put on by Ritual Moves. That's why they reached out, is because I've talked about them right here on this pod. Really, really cool studio in East Austin that's doing a little residency at the Commodore Perry. They've got location in Brooklyn as well. They do reformer, they do mat. One of the things that they're kind of well known for that I was not up to speed on is they do hot mat. They do hot mat Pilates. What's
the difference between normal mat and hot mat?
Well, the mat's hot and hot mat.
Like they just heat the mat up?
I don't know. When you go, I'm not up to speed, Will. That's what I said. It's like, I think there's some type of infrared thing that happens when you go to the Ritual Moves Instagram page. It calls out that they do infrared mat Pilates. So I don't know. Somehow they get the mat and they heat it up. And it's hot Pilates, hot mat Pilates. Anyway, they have that. The ritual moves class at Commodore Perry is in a really beautiful setting. It's in the chapel at Commodore Perry. And yes, you were not able to join, but Sally was, and we did a bit of influencing. Will,
I saw that. I saw that. Yeah, I mean, I don't think anything that I could have recorded or done at that event would have been advocating it in the way that they wanted. They also, I don't think they wanted a guy with hand, foot, mouth also in there, just like rolling around with everybody. And so I'm glad that you guys went and got it done.
We did. And I was a little worried that like, my style of post was going to be like a little too cheeky or tongue in cheek.
I was surprised they even let you in. I mean,
well, right. We're going to get to that, Randy, but yeah. But they dug it. They liked it. It was a fun class. I'm glad we got the opportunity to go out there. But, what Randy is potentially alluding to is that I dared step foot out there, not in a matching set.
Disgusting.
Ridiculous.
Yeah. Now, obviously, if this had been the Hamptons, I probably just would have been, turned away right at the door. They would have seen me. They would have said, no, sir. They let me into this one, which was nice of them. But I do have a bit of an update on at least the Austin scene as far as the matching sets go. Now, I was one of 3 guys. Everybody else, was a girl. And there were almost 100%, almost uniformly matching sets. But there's a new trend for these classes that I had not seen before. And I would say at least 5 girls were doing this move, Will. So I'm going to pull some. These were shared on social via Ritual Moves. So I've kind of, I don't want to put anybody too much on blast. So I've kind of cropped them, but I don't feel bad sharing them here. But this right here, this was the look of the day. And you'll see that these girls are wearing matching sets, but then they have pulled on a classic ribbed white tank on top of the of the sports bra.
Okay.
And this was really happening. Like I said, like 5 or 6 girls were in this look, and this was not something that was on my radar, but this is the next swerve if you're on your set game, but you need to take the next step.
This is very impressive scouting you've done here, Barrett. Like,
thank you.
I don't think I would have clocked this, but it kind of has that like 90s Britney Spears nostalgic to it.
Yeah, there's something that works about it. Like, I don't know if it's like, it's almost, I don't want to call it a faux modesty, right? Because it is offering you more coverage, but it's definitely, it's a thing. I would say it's a thing. Now, I don't know if this is,
I'm a fan of it,
is happening at the Hamptons, but I actually meant to follow up with Salgal and her sister Emily to ask them if they were aware of this or if they noticed it at the class.
I'll be asking tonight when Sally gets home if this is something that she clocked as well. Okay. I'm a big fan of this solely because when I was going through my gym phase, I was wearing the rattiest t-shirts I could possibly find that had like terrible pit stains on them, stains from other things, like just disgusting shirts. And I'm glad that something could possibly get popular. That is something that you should be working out in instead of like another $190 matching set.
Yes.
Like it's there's something about working out and sweating and things that makes me not want to spend money on it. And I'm very thankful for having this podcast where like we have random running companies or shoe companies or whatever companies sending us free things. Uh-huh. And so if I need to go work out, I know that I can be suited and booted. Yeah, but I also have the comfort of knowing that I didn't pay like cold hard cash for these things because there's just something about it that I have trouble with.
What is the male matching set? I mean, like, I know that you and I can like walk into Aloe and pick up a shirt and shorts in a matching color, but I don't really see dudes do that. There was I did recognize. I mentioned there were 2 other guys there. I did recognize one of them. I don't know his name, but he's an Austin. Like he does like culture and bars and restaurants and fashion. It's like he's a gay guy, so it has like some of that culture kind of as a part of it as well. And he was there, and he was in like a the outfits that you put on to do like a triathlon where it's like a onesie, but then it's like shorts, but then it's short sleeve, but then it like zips.
Yeah.
Basically like a male leotard. That's what he was wearing. So was there
a t-shirt on over it?
No,
or was
no,
it
no,
just
no.
raw dog in the leotard?
No, he was just raw dog in the leotard.
Okay. If you put like a crop tee over that, I can get on board with that, but I don't know if I like the just straight up spandex.
The onesie. Yeah, just the straight up male onesie. Yeah.
But who am I to say? I was talking like earlier this year about wanting to wear a Speedo on vacation. So I mean, like
that's right.
That's way more uncomfortable. Yeah. I think a lot of guys, like a lot of dads that I see, let's say I'm at a school event and dads are dressed pretty casually because it's not like a nice school event.
They're not showing up. They're not showing up in male onesies and male leotards.
I try to dress as generically as humanly possible in these situations, so I don't wear a male leotard. But a lot of guys just simply wear like Lulu shorts and then a t-shirt or long sleeve tee or QZ from like, I don't know, a hotel or a golf course or something like that.
Yeah.
I satisfy running stuff like the matching set. Like that's all I want to wear at this point.
I did think about going Moth Tech on, but then I decided I wasn't going to get the benefits of the holes without moving my body through air. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I do. I do understand. It doesn't hit the same indoors as it does outdoors.
Yeah. You got to be outdoors. There needs to be like a breeze, or you need to be, you need a little wind to really take advantage. Randy, you look like you wanted to chime in on the male leotard front.
No, I was just more when Will said about Speedo, I was about to say Will thinks he's Theo James.
I don't. That's the thing. I don't know if I have what it takes, both physically and emotionally, to strap on a Speedo right now.
Yeah, odds Travis Kelce gets spotted in a Speedo up Rhode Island way, in the pre-wedding celebration.
Oh yeah, if they go to Villa d'Este and get married there, there's going to be a video of him doing a belly flop into their floating pool on Lake Como.
It sounds like we were right on the Rhode Island front. It sounds like it's happening at her palace there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So he's gonna have to go stateside with that Speedo.
Yeah, I do have. This is a high pressure fashion wedding because her style is widely panned by people. And I don't know if I trust the Kelce brothers to put together fits that are wedding appropriate and timeless.
Do you think she's going? I could very much see her going with a widely hated dress. I think she's going to go timeless. I think she's going to go super, super classic with it. But I could see her going with something not so classic.
Here's the thing: is Taylor Swift a visionary? Yes. Is she one of the most talented people of our generation? Absolutely. Do I have faith in her stylistic choices most of the time? Not really.
Yeah.
Not really. I'm usually disagreeing, and I don't. It's not one of those things where she wears something and then you see people like 2 years later wearing it, and you're like, wow, she was really ahead of the curve. Most of the time, I'm just like, where? Huh? She's wearing that yellow plaid thing to be a Corota?
Yeah, so sometimes her stylist does some handy work, but then like the red carpet stuff can really be hit or miss. So, shall I move on to somebody that always crushes looks?
Yeah, we should. My timeline is absolutely dripping in this content right now, and I'm not saying no. Randy, get your gong ready.
He's ready.
All righty.
I mean, Elordi is currently promoting a movie at the Venice Film Festival, and the clinic that he is putting on is borderline unseen before. Just the Tux video alone, whoever was running the camera on that completely understood the assignment, and the only person that understood the assignment more than the camera person is Jacob Elordi himself, as he just mogs on everybody. He's like a skyscraper in a city full of like just empty businesses.
He really is. That's the thing about Elordi, is that you almost have to grade him on a curve, because at 6'4" or 5" or whatever he is, everything just hangs right on him.
Mm-hmm.
Like clothes just look good on him. Very, very good. And he's yeah. I mean, he's got those model proportions. He looks like a runway model. And everything looks good on him. We got the tux video going on the screen, but here's another post that captured a few of his different looks. All Bottega, by the way, I believe. This was a reminder that he is definitely still, current on his ambassadorship with Bottega Veneta. I think there was a question about that. But he went all white, looked phenomenal. This was his arrival outfit. He is a big fan of Pally Hollywood, which is a brand that I quite like as well. He wears their hats all the time. This is one that they released several years ago. It's Saint Natalie Wood is the copy on it, and they just released this hat for a 24-hour pre-order yesterday at double the price that it was when this thing first released. And it's basically the Elordi effect. Like this is the one he wears the most, and like people have just been clamoring for it. But this is so simple with this vintage high crown hat, white t-shirt, tucked in, black trousers. He's got the Prada leather collapse on. Don't undersell the pinky ring. Don't undersell the rolling suitcase with the Bottega kind of weave on it. Yeah, he's got the Bottega carry-on, man. He's got the Bottega rollaway. Yeah.
It's crazy.
He's doing it to him.
It's crazy. Out of all that I'm not like a big designer brand guy.
Yeah. Like
there's not a lot of designer brands that I'm fawning over, like going crazy for, whatever. But there's something so pleasing about that Bottega weave that I just can't help but like lust over the stuff.
Well, it's very, it's recognizable. It looks and feels luxurious. It's textural, but it's also kind of like, it's leather. It's leather work. You know what I mean? So I feel like it doesn't feel too designery or too try hard or too avant-garde. You know what I mean? Speaking of things that are avant-garde, we got to talk about this look.
He hit this.
This is accountant, but make it fashion.
My dad wears this outfit every single day of the week.
Well, one of the most common questions that we get asked anytime we field listener questions, or even just like going through my DMs from listeners and from readers, one of the most common questions that I get asked is like, how do we look good, or how do I change it up? How do I style for business casual? Like, how can I go into a business casual office and like look good or look different or flex a little bit? And now I have my answer. I'm just sending them this picture of Jacob Elordi decked out in Bottega Veneta that might as well be Brooks Brothers.
Yeah, but like no one asking that question looks like Jacob Elordi and can just throw on these two pieces and expect to look like he does. It's an unfair advantage.
The shirt is one thing. The shirt is like quite literally just a spread collar dress shirt. You know, it's sportswear. Go into Ralph Lauren or Brooks Brothers or wherever. Size up one and you have this shirt. The pants are low key crazy with that triple pleat. Like
I can't even hit a one pleat.
That's the real swerve.
I want to.
And then I do honestly though, there is some type of kernel here, which is like the dude is mogging on you with this like mod style haircut, the kind of the mini mullet, and crazy good sunglasses, right? So those are two things that you can kind of pull off. Now, if you're client facing, if you're like in a super buttoned up industry, you probably can't have this haircut, but you can rock sick accessories, you know?
I don't know. Is that haircut more uncouth than like a pinky ring in the board meeting?
Yeah.
Pinky ring kind of sends a message.
A pinky ring is more acceptable. That's like, you're about to dip that thing into some wax and like seal up some documents or something.
There's a lot of content coming out of this Venice Film Festival that I'm very jealous of. You just got like, I think it was the Belmont Hotel was posting George Clooney jokingly answering phones behind the front desk of their hotel there. I mean, they're all wearing just beautiful tuxes as exhibited here on the screen of Elordi just crushing the tuxedo. I mean, he's double breasted up.
He's double breasted
He's
up.
got
Yeah.
Stunner shades on, just the widest lapel you'll see there.
Yeah. Todd Snyder, by the way, beautiful double breasted tuxedo going on right now. That is probably a fifth of the price of the Bottega. If you're seeing these tux looks and you've got some type of gala or wedding coming up and you're like, I need a DB, but I don't have Bottega money. It's at Todd Snyder right now. Will Elordi is at Venice promoting Frankenstein. I believe I have that correct.
I believe you do.
He's got a co-star in that movie. Who I don't think we've ever officially put on any type of watch list or put on the, the baby girl board. And that's probably because he's more of a zaddy.
Oscar Isaac is a problem.
He belongs in, not necessarily the baby girl conversation, but just the conversation of just very good looking men, What else is there to say?
I get a lot of compliments on my beard, and I can't make it look the way that his looks. Like, I need to figure out exactly what he's doing to shape this thing.
You got to wait. Well, he does have an interesting shape here going on, but you got to wait for a little more salt and pepper to come in, man.
I know. I got to stop trimming those hairs now that I see how Oscar Isaac's doing it.
Do you remember when he was doing press for, I think it was Marriage Story? No, that was that was Adam Driver and ScarJo. He was doing, it was the Jessica Chastain film. I think it was the one. There was a picture of him that got put on all the mood boards, all the Jowns and the Hiddens and all of those boards, where he's sitting in a dressing room and he's wearing like this crazy cool pair of New Balances and then like a wool zip up sweater of some sort and like, optic frames that kind of look like the ones you have on right now. And it was very like Professor Daddy. And that is the look that he continues to crush. He looks great in New Balance and denim and tweed and just like really kind of classic menswear looks like these. And then he obviously pulls off a very dapper tuxedo as well. But like this look right here, this is Oscar Isaac. Like, that's his wheelhouse to me.
Men shouldn't deserve to look like these last two men we've talked about. I mean, if you pull up the kid drop off at school and this guy's dropping his kid off, you're like, oh, okay.
You're hiding your wife is what you're doing. Yeah.
It's like, I can't let my wife drop my kid off anymore. No. I got to be here.
Yeah. But again, like just, in the same vein as that Elordi travel look, this one's super approachable. Like you can easily do this without spending a ton of money also. Probably stuff that, you might even have stuff that's similar to this in your closet already. It's about the fit, it's about the cut, it's about the grooming, it's about the accessories. So yeah, these guys are crushing it in Venice. Kind of overshadowing Cannes, I might say, this Venice Film Festival.
I don't get into film festivals. It's like, okay, watching a bunch of celebrities get excited about a movie that I won't see for months. Like it's hard to get juiced up for that for me.
I mean, at this point, I feel like the reason that we even pay attention is just, and not just us, but anybody, is just for the fits.
Well, the fact that I know exactly what photo you're talking about of Oscar Isaac on the mood boards, but I don't know what movie he was even in. That tells. Maybe it's just being retail therapy coded, but that's as much as I know.
It could be. All right. What's next?
Let's hear from a new sponsor. Let's hear from our friends over at Chubby's. Barrett, I have a question for you. Are you ready for football?
Yeah.
My dog is ready.
Just
for
like Rosie, I'm barking. I'm barking for that ball.
Well, Chubby's is ready to help you with their NFL collection. So whether you're tailgating, grilling, or riding the highs and lows of a game from your couch, they have the officially licensed NFL gear to keep you looking like the ultimate fanatic. Here's the thing. I've been riding with Chubby's now for a while now on the low. If you catch me on the golf course right now, I'm probably wearing a pair of Chubby's. Okay. And I'm getting people asking, like, where'd you get these shorts from? And I tell them, and they're like, "Oh, I didn't even know they made golf shorts." But they got it all right now. They got your NFL team logo on there, Barrett. You're a Texans guy, right?
I support the Houston squad.
Why do you sound so wishy-washy with this?
Well, I'm a fan of my fantasy team first and foremost. That's probably the that's my Sunday confession for you. I am a Texans fan. I am. If I'm grabbing some NFL licensed gear from Chubby's, it'll have that Toro Bull logo emblazoned on it.
Well, right now they got comfortable polos, swim trunks, and probably the item that I need the most for my Sundays on the couch, which is gym-ready mesh shorts. I've been a big fan of the mesh shorts as of late, and if they got a Lions logo on them, you know that I'm going to be all in. For a limited time, we've got an exclusive code, SCARIES, for $10 off at chubbyshorts.com/scaries. Yes, that does include the NFL collection, so let the thighs out and let the good times roll. Chubby's is the ultimate football apparel brand, so much so they created their own fantasy football league for people like you, Barrett, who have more of an allegiance to that than anything else. Yeah. George Kittle, Ian Rappaport, and others have come together to assemble the Chubby's League on NFL Fantasy. Each week, the top 5 scorers will win a chance at a Chubby's polo and shorts combo with their team's logo. The grand champion gets the chance at the ultimate fan experience, a 5-city, 5-stadium NFL game tour with a +1. If I win, Barrett, I'll bring you.
Thank you. That's very kind of you.
While the fantasy flop faces a hilarious and unforgettable punishment only Chubby's could pull off, head over to chubbyshorts.com/thechubbies league to learn more and have some fun. Get ready for the most outrageous fantasy football season of your life. And would you look at that? Folks, for a limited time, our friends at Chubby's are giving out that $10 off promo code SCARIES at chubbyshorts.com/scaries. Again, that's $10 off your order with promo code SCARIES, and that includes the NFL collection. Support our show and tell them we sent you. Express yourself and level up your game day wardrobe with Chubby's. I mean, I need to get more juiced up for this NFL season.
Yeah, you do. We're recording on a Thursday. It's starting tonight, and by the time you're listening, you're going to have football on TV all day.
I know it's hard for me to just being the soccer boy that I am, and the season starts a couple weeks before. It's hard for me to allocate enough excitement to the NFL season, but I think I'll get there tonight.
Yeah, Cowboys are obviously on, in the news with the Parsons trade debacle, if you will. I think the reason maybe I sounded a little bit hesitant on my full-throated support of the Houston side there is because I'm not feeling very confident. I kind of have a feeling this is going to be a dump of a season for them.
My worry about my Detroit Lions is simply that we've been eating so good lately that we can't eat good forever.
Right.
And
yes. Yeah.
Like after the regular season we had last year, you can't ask for much more. And I just worry that any downturn it's going to be the end. And so I'm just trying to enjoy it while I still can. Yeah,
that's smart.
Do we keep talking sports right now?
I think that's a great segue into another big event that's ongoing and that we love to chat about.
Well, get your honeydeuce out, Barrett. I might need to make an at-home honeydeuce just to see what it's all about, because it's obvious that I'm not going to make it to the U.S. Open this year.
Yeah. I think I was talking to Laura about this. Did the U.S. Open reach peak cool last year?
Yeah. I think I did. I hadn't thought of it that way, but yeah, I think it might have.
Here's the difference. If you were there last year, you were on the trend, right? Like it was suddenly the hottest event and you were part of it. But you could reasonably say that you were there because you were interested in the event, not because of the popularity of the event. And I feel like last year was the last year for that. Like now people and I'm not saying that this wasn't happening last year. I'm saying that now it is, you are going because you know it is a popular event to go to. And I think there was even a Nolita Dirtbag or one of those accounts that memed the honeydeuce that was like, yeah, we fucking get it. You're drinking a honeydeuce. Like you're at the, you know what I mean? It may be oversaturated this year.
If you live in New York City and you do content for a living, or you work in fashion or whatever, and you don't have a route to like a free like pair of tickets to the US Open at this point, you might need to rethink your career path, because I feel like they're giving them out to everybody at this point.
Yeah.
And here's the thing. Like, I think there was a route where we could have figured out how to get there this year. And I don't think it would have been hard for us to figure out, Barrett. For me, it's more than just the travel of it. I also think that it's a very good event for people in fashion to go to, because there's so many people in fashion that live in New York, and it's the proximity is just crazy that like, if you're not doing the Gian Oasis concert straight into US Open the next day pipeline, then like you're just not doing it right.
Yeah, nobody gets to go to as much stuff as Gian, though. You know, you can't. Nobody should be comparing themselves to the amount of events that he gets to go to. It's unfair.
It was like the world's biggest flex for me to be laying on my couch the other day, going through his stories and being like, "Oh man, I'm so jealous. Oasis looks so fun." And then in the same story cadence, you go and he just is at the US Open, 12 hours later, just enjoying his life there.
I mean, arguably the only bigger move was that Rory flew from the PGA Tour Championship in Atlanta and was at the US Open that evening on Sunday night. That was a pretty big flex.
For a first round match. Like, you don't need to do that.
That's just like tell me you have a PJ without telling me you have a PJ, basically.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like he could have maybe like punted that trip for a couple weeks and gone to like a quarterfinal.
He's just such a huge tennis fan, man. He had to be there round one.
I don't get it. Well, I put together some looks.
You did. Thank you for doing this, because this is well put together, and I hadn't seen several of these.
Yeah, I've watched more US Open this year than I have in past years. The US Open really is third in my tennis major watching. I got Wimbledon on as much as possible. The French Open is obviously right in play. And I just don't usually watch tennis at night. So the US Open has been on flat ears for me. But this year I've been really enjoying it, mainly because I don't have a lot of other things that I'm watching right now. And so I've kind of gotten more fashion takes this year than I've had in the past. Where do you want to begin? I know you're getting all these set up on the screen right now.
I'm getting them set up. Let's talk about Venus Williams' fuzzy tennis bag. Sheerly,
cool scene.
In fact,
Venus doing singles. She did win a set, which was kind of inspiring. And then, the second you started texting your friends like, Venus just won a set, she kind of turned it off at that point. But the fuzzy bag was making some waves. I've always wanted to play more tennis in my life, just so I can go buy a cooler racket bag, really.
Yeah.
I always thought it was like the biggest flex when kids would show up to ski meets with like a dope bag, or the kids at the tennis matches showing up with like just a wild bag and numerous rackets. It was like it was really the first way that people would be like, yeah, I'm good. I don't know if I can pull off the fuzzy shearling bag though.
Yeah, it's specific, I think it helps to be a world-class tennis player to just strut out onto the court with your shearling tennis bag. Was there a label behind this? I know there was the New York Times even wrote about it.
I don't know, actually.
ERL, yes, Los Angeles-based label ERL.
Okay, not familiar with ERL's work.
And she is wearing, I believe the clothing that she's wearing is ERL also. So. To quote from the Times, while Ms. Williams' match with Ms. Makova ended in defeat, the eye-catching bag brought a great deal of attention to ERL, the Los Angeles-based label that designed the shearling bag and ensemble. I'm very familiar with ERL. They do a lot of like kind of crazy, kooky looking stuff that feels very California, very 70s inspired. A lot of it very colorful, usually. If you are unfamiliar, you might remember pre-Nazi Kanye kind of put them on with a big, like they kind of got hot for a second with this swirl hoodie, it was called. That's basically like, it's basically two pieces of fabric put together in a really cool way. It was a hot item. I think I actually have one that you may have seen.
Please don't pull up their website right now, because I think the hero image on their homepage might get us banned from YouTube.
Okay. Yeah.
So just be careful.
All right. I will not do that. This is the hoodie. This is like the style of the hoodie I'm talking about. Sorrel hoodie.
It is a cool hoodie.
Yeah.
It's a cool hoodie.
So ERL, yeah, very cool bag. Let's move on to who we got next. Oh, I didn't see this. This is so sick.
Carlos Alcaraz busted out the, vintage Total 90 soccer top.
Nike been really pushing the Total 90 stuff last few months.
Yes, I think the nostalgia there is their main marketing tactic. And for people like me who grew up like right in that Total 90 era, it's kind of perfect. I didn't love the fit they put together for him on this. I thought the shorts were kind of a miss when you could have had a little more fun with the shorts. But
the shorts don't
overall, I think it's really cool.
The shorts don't seem part of the collection. They don't seem part of the T90. And was this like practice, or did he wear this in a match? Do you know?
I'll be honest, I don't know. I thought it was practice, but then I saw some photos that made it look more match ready, but I think it might have just been a practice.
I think it's probably practice. He's been in some, again, very colorful stuff. We've got Naomi Osaka here in all purple, and I believe, and I think she's a Nike athlete too, if I'm not mistaken. And Alcaraz was definitely in some full purple looks as well. I mean, beyond the fits, though, what do we think about the buzz cut? Is that even more of the story with Alcaraz at US Open?
I think it is.
I mean, it's a tight one. It is short. It is like, it's almost beyond a buzz cut. It is, but it is like nearly bald.
It's very bad boy, and I don't know if he needs a bad boy rebrand right now. Like, I feel like he just needs to stay the course. It's also very cocky for a guy with great hair to just go that clean shaven at that age.
I had not thought about it in like the bad boy context, but you're right. It's edgier for him. I think that's why I kind of like it, because he kind of had like this lovable dork kind of like look about him. I mean, obviously he's like he's jacked and a brilliant tennis player, but like his hair before was like, I'm not a multimillionaire. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Like, I don't watch enough tennis to like totally know Alcaraz's vibe. Like, I don't know the ins and outs of him, but I've always gotten the feeling from him that he's just like happy and smiley to be there.
Yeah,
like, I'm really good and I'm crushing right now. Like, he just seems very, I don't want to say he's like PR safe because I don't know enough about him to claim that, but like he seems like a PR dream for like any brand.
He does. But yeah, well, I think a little longer, and I think this buzz cut will be looking good. Right now, it is very kind of Neo in the Matrix. When he gets on the ship, there's a little throwback reference for you. Speaking of purple, Naomi Osaka.
This is my second least favorite look of the tournament. I don't love the bunched bottom
the bubble skirt
tennis dress. Yeah, I don't know. There's something about it that I just don't love. So it feels like there should be something over it.
Here's the thing that happens at the US Open. And like, this is part players, but more so the brands. Everybody has to wear white at Wimbledon. Mm-hmm. And then the French Open is also, it's like on the clay court. So it feels more outdoors, and like the red of the, like, I feel like people are usually a little bit more buttoned up at the French Open as well. US Open, it's New York. It's under the night lights. It's on the hard courts. Like, this is where the brands throw out all the color and all the craziness. Serena Williams going catsuit. That was at the US Open. Like, this is where they show out. And to that end, another thing that we've got on our list here is just talking about how Adidas has taken this opportunity at the US Open to kind of like revitalize and repush their Y3 line.
Yeah, a lot of Y3 out there.
Tons of Y3. I think that maybe every Adidas athlete is wearing Y3 at the US Open.
That would make sense.
I would not have guessed. Y3 was like really, really big in like the early 2010s kind of initial sneaker craze, kind of in the Adidas Ultra Boost era. I would not have guessed how long it's been around. It's been around since 2003.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's much longer than I ever expected you to say. I mean, I'm surprised they care about it at this point, but maybe they just saw
something in it that I didn't?
They must have, but it's also working. They have more athletes than Nike does for the first time in a long time, and searches for Y3 have spiked during the U.S. Open. It's the most searched it's been in 10 years. Harkening back to when they were kind of on a hot sneaker run. So that push has worked. We had a buddy text us about the Y3. Basically what is this? Why are so many athletes wearing it? But that's been interesting as well. All that to say, the U.S. Open is kind of where the brands get to let the freak flag fly a little bit. So that's why I think you see some of this stuff like Osaka in the purple bubble skirt, and like Djokovic in all villain black.
Well, like with Osaka, if that was just like one night, I'd be like, okay, that was cool to do. But she's wearing it often, and I just don't think it's a repeatable outfit. Though I do think it is a fun zag when you have the opportunity to do it. I think this is my least favorite look of the entire Open, and part of the reason it's not just Djokovic's fault, but Taylor Fritz also did completely all black. I mean, everything black. From the Hugo Boss bandana to the shirt, shorts, socks, shoes. And I don't get why they both went all black and why they've been doing this. It just doesn't make a lot of sense to me. Maybe they were just wearing all black to go to Taylor Fritz's funeral for the tournament. But it's not resonating with me, and I just don't think it's a good look at all. I would much rather them go all white like they're at Wimbledon.
Yeah. I think the all black again is that feels very U.S. Open to me. It's like, we're in the city, we're in New York, we're going chic. I do not like all black athletic shoes. So
no,
Djokovic's fit here would be more appealing to me if the shoes had some color to them, or were kind of a contrast in comparison to the all black. Yeah, he also just kind of looks like, I don't know, it's just such a villain vibe from him in all black. Like he's giving the what is it? Is it Iceland in Mighty Ducks?
Barrett, I'm so glad you said that, because that was the very first thing that I thought. Like, are these guys just trying to go Iceland or Hawks or whatever the Mighty Ducks villains were?
Yeah. Djokovic had a pretty. This jacket was kind of sick though.
The jacket was sick. I thought this was a very big swerve for our friends over at Lacoste to do. I also think it's a pretty big statement jacket from him.
Yeah.
Like, he doesn't have the vibe of a guy who I think would be caught dead in something like this.
No. It's a flex though, he's one of the goats. I had pulled up that article talking about the Y3 splash. And it goes on to talk about how there are just so many other brands sponsoring tennis athletes right now. Like Vuori signed a player. I think they spent $5 million on somebody whose name is slipping my mind right now. But there's Lacoste, Boss, Lotto, a lot of smaller brands. And then yes, you mentioned On. They've got Federer. They do his kind of signature court shoe, but now they have the full kits on people. And honestly, if I was suddenly a professional tennis player and I just got to pick my sponsorship, I'm a Nike guy through and through. I love what they do, but I would pick On right now.
Yeah, I think the On stuff's really cool. The Nike stuff has honestly been very boring to me overall. And the On stuff is just clean and good looking. I agree with you. I actually own a pair of the Federer tennis shoes from On. I bought them it was the first ones they ever released. And I thought, these are really cool. I don't know if they're going to make these again. I'm going to do this again. And so I will ride for On in the tennis space. Okay, I put up Lori Harvey's Instagram here because she has the best photo of it that I've seen yet. If you go forward a couple, you will see the chicken nuggets that look McDonald's-y along with the Petrosian caviar.
Wow.
Okay. And so they've been serving this at the U.S. Open. And I wanted to know your thoughts on this, Barrett. Is this something that you would entertain? I did read, somebody commented that who was with her. I think she was with Laura Harrier. And she commented that she absolutely destroyed this box of chicken nuggets. And I think I would do the same.
Do we have a price on these?
No, let me see. Let me do some quick research.
Because Will, my gut reaction is that if I had a chance to go to the US Open, I'm getting this box like regardless of cost. But if you tell me it's $500, I don't think I could go that high. I think I could do 150.
Okay, I have good news for you then. This comes in at $100.
Okay. Yeah, I'm getting this. If I get to go, I gotta get this.
I've spent money on worse things at sporting events than $100 on chicken nuggets, which actually look just like McDonald's ones. So I'm all in on those.
Yeah.
But I've spent worse money at sporting events, definitely.
Yeah. They're they give you an opportunity. They give all these celebs an opportunity to be just like one of us too, eating chicken tendies. Paige Lorenz, the popular influencer and creator of Dairy Boy, was like and fiance now of Tommy Paul. She was like caught, like indulging with a face full of chicken tenders or chicken nuggets or whatever, and then posted about it and like just like felt like she got all sorts of brownie points because it's like, oh, they're eating fried chicken at sporting events just like us. You know what I mean? Even though if you pan down to the dipping sauces instead of spicy sriracha or sweet and sour or ketchup, it's caviar.
Yeah. This time last year, I probably would have said no. And I have fallen into a few caviar experiences over the last year that have really changed my tune when it comes to caviar. Oh, a ruffle chip with a little creme fraiche and some caviar. It's just, I don't know. I've completely pivoted on my takes here. I still don't think it's worth the money. I still think it's outrageously expensive most of the time.
Yeah.
Especially if you buy it from a restaurant. Like that's something I can't get on board with. I don't have it in me to look at a waiter and order like marked up caviar at a restaurant. That is something I won't do.
It's tough because when you're at a location that offers caviar, your bill is your bill is going to probably be kind of large anyway. And it's just like, it's the difference in like dinner being 200 versus 500. And that's just
it's the difference between a dinner being a tough pill to swallow versus a punch in the face.
Yeah. Which one is which?
Oh, the tough pill to swallow is without the caviar. Like a nice restaurant.
Okay,
it's like, okay, like someone's going to order an expensive bottle of wine. But like the punch in the face is just like, yeah, okay, we're getting the $350 caviar service, whether you want to have 2 bites of food or not.
Yeah. All right. So US Open ongoing. We'll stay locked in there. Although I imagine we won't have too much time for coverage next week. We kind of have a few random things here. What do we usually call these?
Articles of interest.
Articles of interest. Yes.
I don't know why I called it random in today's rundown. I think I'm out of it this week.
I think the big one that probably was on everybody's radar is this Kith Ivy thing. Essentially, Ronnie Feig is opening up a club in New York City, a social and paddle club. By the way, quick aside, I have no idea what the difference between paddle and pickleball is.
I don't really either, even though I've played both.
It's not very retail therapy coded of me to not know the difference. I feel like I should be expert on all racket sports, but I'm not.
Well, I was going to say the ultimate flex for you would be saying that you don't know the difference because you only play racquetball.
Right. Yeah. But does squash outrank racquetball on the bougie hierarchy?
I don't know if it does in practice, but I do think it does in conversation.
Yeah, right. Okay, all right. So yes, not sure of the difference between paddle and paddle and pickleball, but that there are paddle courts at the Kith Ivy. It will cost $36,000 to join. It has an Erewhon. It's bringing Erewhon to New York City for the first time. And Will, I don't know how you're feeling about all of this. When I saw this, when this first popped up on the gram for me, my thing is I don't understand where Kith is getting all of this money.
I don't either.
The build outs for their stores are insane. They have them everywhere in the most expensive real estate districts in every single city. They seem to have unlimited funds operating retail when Essence can't even stay in business and had like a global footprint and astronomical sales at one point. they're basically the same, except for they have their in-house line and they do a lot of collabs. Do you know what I mean? Like they can't possibly be moving so much merchandise of their own in-house line to just completely negate the struggles that every other retail endeavor seems to have. Like maybe I'm wrong, but like, I feel like they're laundering money or something. Like this is insane.
They have to have some sort of agreement in place with like, if you go through the photos, you see Armani, you see Wilson Tennis, you see, I don't know what other brands could be involved in this. I guess Erewhon.
Yeah.
Like they can't be footing the bill for all this, right? There has to be some investor behind it that is just absolutely shelling out.
Yeah. Cause this is just like, this looks nicer than the Polo Bar. You know what I mean? Like it's just no expense was spared on any of this.
Yeah.
It's pretty wild.
Are we seeing every single square inch of this in these photos? Because if we're only seeing all of it right here, then I could understand that it would be much easier to build that out.
Yeah. I do think that this is, I think this is mostly it. I think it's the big restaurant, the Erewhon smoothie bar, and the paddle courts. Here's the tweet that you pulled. Erewhon is coming to NYC with a tonic bar inside a West Village paddle club. Very funny that there's no mention of the Kith Ivy in this headline. I feel like it's kind of burying the lead.
I agree. I was also kind of hoping that you would read that in Stefan voice.
Well, yeah. I don't know if this place does have everything. It mostly has paddle and a tonic bar.
I think private clubs are the new, if you're in a city, I think you're going to be seeing a lot more of those pop up.
Private clubs. I don't know if it speaks to just like the ongoing disparity in the wealth gap or what, but maybe it's just that we're getting older and we're kind of entering that phase of life where where some of our peers have the type of disposable income to join these social clubs. But it does seem, they're like in my field of vision more than they ever have been. That's for sure. There's a popular tennis.
Did you just deny cookies on the screen in front of us?
I did. Yeah.
Okay, just want to make sure.
He does that all the time. I'm surprised. I'm glad that you pointed it out this time.
Why
I've noticed it in the past.
Why is that weird?
You're just denying cookies? What are you, the anti-cookie monster?
What, are you going to shave your head next time, bad boy? Like that is unhinged behavior.
I usually select and go necessary only. But if I'm in a pinch and I need to act fast, I'm just denying.
Can't let those cookies in.
Oh man. There's a popular tennis club here in Austin, and I recently spent a couple of hours at it with a friend that's a member, doing our fantasy draft, actually. And the kind of the initiation fee has essentially quadrupled over the last 5 years. And he now told me that to join right now, you become a social member first, which essentially means that all you can do is use the restaurant and like the interior pieces of the club. And it is now a 6-year wait. They are telling new members that it's a 6-year wait for them to become full members and get access to the pool and tennis courts. That's where we're at with this type of thing. So maybe this can be successful. There's no shortage of wealth in New York. Now, I don't know, Hypebeast's question was kind of like, who is this for exactly? Because all the old and the new money, it seems like they're like, I don't know, a Kith club seems like a weird spot for them to be spending that money. It seems
this is for 45-year-old men in private equity with no family.
Yeah.
Okay.
I know Austin is getting another, there's a couple already, but down by Armadillo and stuff, they're doing rush paddle. So it's going to be pickleball and paddle too. So they're building stuff like that. It's just not high end.
Right.
I also did look up the difference between pickleball and paddle if you guys are interested.
Yeah, please tell us.
And learning a little something. So they are similar, but not really. It seems like pickleball is more like giant ping pong, where it's smaller than paddle and tennis, but it's with the wiffle balls, and we all know how a pickleball is and stuff, right? So paddle is enclosed in a wall, so it's kind of like racquetball where you could hit it off the walls too. and it's scored more like tennis, and the paddle is somewhere in between a pickleball paddle and a tennis racket. So it's like a paddle, but it has like holes in it, and it's played with, I think, less pressurized tennis balls too. So it's smaller than tennis, but it's more of a mix between tennis and racquetball, where like pickleball is more of like a mix between tennis and a ping pong is the best way I could put it.
Okay. All right.
So there you go.
Okay.
I'm happy to try paddle. At random. This is kind of crazy. I mentioned Cafe Mogador in Brooklyn in Williamsburg on our podcast with Ethan as a restaurant that I went to in 2019 and really liked, and I mentioned that I thought it had kind of blown up since then. Cafe Mogador is the restaurant inside the Kith Ivy. Yes, they did reach new heights.
That's just an absolute mixture of brands going in to this place.
Yeah. But the one of the big pieces of news from this, as that tweet kind of stated, is that this is the first Erewhon outside of LA. So
it's kind of surprising at this point. I want to see a 4-block long line in New York of people waiting for a $23 smoothie.
Yeah, I think I saw something that said you were going to be able to get smoothies from this Erewhon to go, but I don't know if that's accurate or not. I don't know if it's going to be public facing at all, or if you'll have to be a member to join. One thing that I feel like might be worth it if they could tack it on to your $36,000 annual fee here is if you could just, if this just got you like access to cut the line at all Kith and all Ame Leon Dor locations.
That would change things.
That would kind of change the game, I think. Yeah. So
I still have a sour taste in my mouth for getting turned away when there is no line, even though there's never a line now because it's a reservation system. I'll never get over it.
Well, if you go to Kith Ivy Club to play some paddle and get a Hailey Bieber smoothie, you might find yourself wearing an embroidered, quarter zip of some sort. That might be adequate apparel. Maybe it has
like Sporty and Rich or something.
Yeah. Maybe it's got your initials emblazoned on it. Maybe it's
that would be good. That would be very old Ivy looking. Very
maybe it's
university.
a vintage collector's piece.
I put this in the rundown as the most uncoppable piece ever, and I think it might be. I have to admit, I have seen this photo of Jeffrey Epstein wearing this quarter zip and thought to myself, man, it's kind of a cool quarter zip, but you can't really replicate that at this point. He kind of has that. He kind of has that market narrowed.
Yeah, and, he deaded this one. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. But there is a one of one worn Jeffrey Epstein quarter zip, a museum piece for real. I don't know if this is on. It's sold for $11,000.
Yeah, this was a post from a hit in New York. A personalized quarter zip sweatshirt previously owned by Jeffrey Epstein was listed for sale on an archive resale account. It's uncertain if it is authentic or how it was acquired. ... It's sold for $11,000.
Someone noted that it was game worn.
And the first comment is game worn.
Yeah, like if you go back and you look at people who are now deceased and their style, and you go through what's popular right now, that old money look, the Ivy look. There are two really terrible characters in the world who went all in on that, and that was Jeffrey Epstein and Bernie Madoff.
Yeah,
like Bernie Madoff had every Belgian ever created. And so it's like, it's terrible that these guys have taken that style from us in a way.
Yeah. They really haven't taken it, just don't find yourself, popping on a Navy quarter zip with red initials and an American flag embroidery on the sleeve, and you'll be all right.
I know, but do you worry that the world is trending in a direction where we're going to start seeing Jeffrey Epstein on mood boards instead of, JFK Jr.?
I think we just did see Jeffrey Epstein on a mood board. So
I know. Ladies, if your man is putting Jeffrey Epstein's quarter zip on his mood board, it's time to move on.
That's correct. Yes. Yeah. That's a red flag if there ever was one.
Get out of there. Should we do some wish list?
Let's do some wish list.
I have uninspiring stuff this week. I'm in full fall clothing mode. I'm in full jacket mode. I'm in full just like dressing for weather that we don't have mode. And while I was perusing our friends over at Canoe Club, I stumbled upon a brand that I've been thinking a lot about but haven't bought anything from, which is Gramici. All summer, I spent getting marketed some Gramici shorts on Instagram. And whenever I clicked through on them, they were women's shorts. And it's kind of killed me inside because I thought they were really cool. And when I saw them, it caused me to go on the Gramici site and go through, and it really felt like a trip down memory lane. I feel like it was one of those outdoor brands that I just saw a lot of in the 90s and then hadn't heard from until the last couple of years. And I thought this was a cool jacket, especially for Austin, which is a lot of transitional fall weather. And I have so many winter jackets, winter coats, whatever, that I don't really need them at this point. But I thought this twill all around jacket was.
Oh, we lost Will.
Uh-oh.
I believe that is on his end. He's back.
Oh, I'm back. Did I go out for a second?
Just for a second. You're good. Keep going.
Oh, yeah. I don't know. I thought it was cool. I think I can do something with this.
Am I correct that there's just one photo of this at the moment?
I think there is.
Okay. All right. So I
can probably pull up
I can't really get any more details, but yeah, very classic kind of Harrington style jacket with that stand collar. Great transitional wear. As you said, that's mostly what we get here. So lightweight jackets are always a move. On the precipice of recording our fall fashion episode next week, Will, I'm totally zagging on my wish list item today.
I saw this.
I'm absolutely zagging. I'm going to pull this up. It's a pair of sandals from Zara, actually. And let me just tell you what's been happening. So over the summer, I didn't always feel like I had the right footwear this summer. Mm-hmm. And so I wore my yellow Tom Sachs a lot. I wore my Vans Epochs and my checkerboard slip-ons a lot. But then like I didn't have the open-toed sandals that I wanted. We talked about how the Birkenstock EVAs get too sticky in the hot weather, and I couldn't find my size in the hemp rainbow flip-flops, and I don't really like wearing flip-flops to like go out anyway. And like one thing I had in my mind was just a kind of like a pair of this type of strappy sandal that's like easier to slip on than a fisherman sandal, but like still stays dry, but is nicer than a flip-flop. And I could not find anything that I was feeling. And I started, I can't remember. Oh, I think I caught on to Hermes makes a really nice men's sandal. Crazy expensive, $1,000. I'm not buying an Hermes sandal. But when I was searching for like sandals like that, Zara popped up, and they've actually got kind of crazy good footwear right now. Even though it's the end of summer, there's still a lot of options left. And this is basically exactly what I was looking for. And they're $70. So even though it's the end of the season, still feel like I'd get a month of wear out of these. The midsole and the bottom is kind of like has that espadrille rather look. As I mispronounce more words on the podcast.
No, you got to wear the espadrilles and the
espadrilles. But yeah, this is I really wish these had popped up, in my algo 6 weeks ago. But I might grab these anyway because it's kind of exactly what I wanted.
Yeah, and I definitely like the bone off-white color a lot more than the blue.
I wanted a light color too. I didn't want dark brown leather, which a lot of these strappy sandals, that's what they're serving up right now. I wanted something kind of off-white or tan or in these kind of lighter suede. There's several options on Zara right now. Like I said, I was pleasantly impressed by their footwear offering at the moment.
And since we didn't get to do our classic parent corner, I will say that Zara also has some great toddler clothes.
Okay. Yeah. I'm on the lookout.
I like perusing their site for toddler stuff.
Yeah. Good note. And that's what I got. My last, maybe my final summer purchase here before we leap into some fall cops.
I'm completely done with summer purchases. I will not be purchasing any summer stuff. I didn't purchase that much this summer, so I'm feeling good, and I'm getting ready to purchase it going into fall.
Yeah, are you going cotton crew neck at the Casa right now, or is that cashmere?
This is a cashmere sweater.
Yeah, so
the upstairs of our house, the room that I'm in gets absolutely blasted with our AC, so it gets freezing cold in here. So I'm currently wearing like winter socks, sweatpants, and a cashmere sweater.
You're true to the game. It's September, and you have transitioned into fall mode.
I'm dreading having to go outside today because I'm going to have to completely change outfits.
Yeah, you sure will.
Mm-hmm. All right. Well, we'll be back next week with the fall fashion episode. I'm very excited for it. I do think we need to collab on notes, though.
I will. I'll send you what I got. Yep, absolutely.
Deal.
And we'll see y'all next Sunday for a big one.
All right. Later, guys.
Bye-bye.